Hello everyone, I'm Greg Luke, thank you for joining me, and welcome back to episode 88 of Factorio with Angels and Bob's Mods, where we are just finishing up the last few parts of our train stations down here at our DVO light processing. Also we need another pollution clean over here, we shall just put that down as well, and then I think we are entirely done with this base. Until I find something else to do down here, I guess. And until we find out if we need more pollution cleaning. Some of this did spread before we could handle all of our cleaning, but we might still just not have enough. At least we have extra filters in the system now. Okay, let's finish up some inserters. Oh, those were the inserters we needed, okay. And then we need a clean up here. And then we need to find out what or where we're going to import stuff from to this base, and, well, how we're going to handle all of the exports. Oh, power is still running well. Finish, thank you. We also have extra filters here. We don't really need to scale up right now, so let's just wait. Let's start thinking about all of this stuff down here. So we need the alumina up at our main base to actually get aluminium. That is why we started all of this. But maybe before we start doing that, we should really redesign all of this to just be able to handle all of our resources on belts, and then start organizing new smelting stuff. We can tear down all of this basically. Of course our production won't be running if we do that, but I would like to just have a clean slate basically. Maybe that would be made a little bit easier if we just stopped these belts for now, so we don't have a lot of resources we have to remove and put into warehouses or whatever. Also bobmonium and rubite, sure. Just cut these 4 belts. At least that's an idea. Question is if we can actually handle all of our smelting here, or if we need more space. We could just start a new area out here, have train stations, and our smelting processing. The thing is that we actually need to do more, or I want to do more steps of the metallurgy stuff, like making it into the ore into powder and pellets and refined ore or whatever it's called. So maybe we should just start at the, well, with one of the resources and find out what we need to do. And I guess something like iron would be what we have access to the most recipes for and, well, need a lot of to begin with. Unless we have something up here that... We could also start processing our slag slurry, of course, but that just gives us a lot of resources again that we need to take care of. This can be removed, it's done. Oh, we actually had our recipes here. I just extended it with stone, basically. So this up here is what we need to do for smelting the alumina, it seems. Unless there's some middle steps we can do to improve our performance or productivity, I mean. We don't have recipes for this yet. And the other stuff is just mixing it with other things. So we can make the ingots into powder. Let's just explore this. And then we can do nothing. What? This might just be a case of me missing a mod or something. No aluminium powder. We can make copper powder in a powder, well, maybe not in the powder mixer. Mix it in the powder mixer. Cobalt powder. All sorts of powders. More powders. And we can actually sort some powders, it seems. But what do you do with all your powders? Like copper powder. Make it into copper paste. And make artifacts out of it, apparently. Okay, so it's for some of that stuff. I guess that's very advanced science stuff. Can we also find aluminium powder in this? Is it not called aluminium powder? Or is it just not a recipe we have available? Maybe it's locked or something, I don't know. So we shouldn't really consider aluminium powder. We just do this. Okay. But again, I think I want to start with the iron. Because this is very, maybe not very simple, but it's at least somewhat simple. So this was a comparison, 12 ore to 12 ingots. Whereas we can get 6 ore to 12 ingots if we just do some processed iron and iron pellets. Which is why we want to do this. It does take some coke and some limestone and some... Well, this is just fuel, so more coke could be a possibility. Or carbon, if we want to do that. So for this we have 1, 2, 3, 4 processing steps. 2 extras than what we already have. If we want to make this into plate, and we want a belt, can we not do this? So we can get 2 belts of iron ore from 1 belt of... Oh, iron plate from 1 belt of iron ore, I mean. That's good. Doesn't need a lot of this stuff. So really, if we just want to maintain our 4 belts of iron plate, then we just need 2 belts of iron ore coming in. I'm not sure if that's future-proof though, but if we want to just go ham with everything, then we would have like 100 belts of ores coming in, and I would prefer not to have that happen. We can just go double and have 4 belts of iron ore coming in, I guess. Let's remove this old one. Shall we just have all of our smelting recipes in this one together? Does that mess it up in any way? I'm not sure. If we just want to make copper plate, of course we could also make the rolled up stuff if we don't want to have too many belts of resources going to the production area. What? So we can make this instead. No, wait, that's from it. But it's 4 times as dense at least, so... we can make these, of course. We can even do some cooling stuff to get maybe better productivity. This makes 2 iron sheet. This makes 4 with less molten iron. Yeah, okay. And that is not possible with just making plate, I guess. Nope. So maybe this is worth it for us. Then we need to cut it up at the production area, of course, but I mean, maybe that's fine. We can just have 1 build of normal iron for the old bus to keep that running if we want to. So many decisions. Or maybe not many, but I'm spending a lot of time on each of them, at least. Can we do the coolant? Actually, can we not put that dash in the middle of that? We can clean some of the used coolant, that's fine. But we will have to mix base mineral oil with water for more. Do we have extra base mineral oil, or are we using it all for lubricant? No, we are burning it, it seems, yes. I think it is used for lubricant here, though. And yes, it is, okay. So we can do that. Let's go for it. We aren't here to not experience Angel Smarts, I guess. I will keep this one as well, though, because, well, we do need some for the bus. So if we want one belt of iron ore going into that, what happened? I know that we can produce this stuff. I want to produce more of this. So a belt, for example. So a belt of this stuff that we can cut up into 4 belts of this stuff doesn't even take 3 belts. No, not even 2 belts of this. Of course that makes sense, because the other recipe was also 1 belt to 2 belts. But this is just a little bit more dense, or a little bit more efficient. So that's a plus. I guess we could then also just make all of the molten iron into the coil and then cut it up if we wanted to. Because it just takes some power. Sure, let's do that. So we want, what, 8-ish belts? Actually, we just want 4 belts going in, so how much we get out is a little bit more loose. 52. We can get 5 belts out of 1 belt. No, out of 4 belts. What? This is not correct anymore. This needs to go. Okay, we're back. So this is what, 8 belts? Can we get the 9th? Yes, we can. Okay. So if we want to, we can get 9 belts. So that is 2 belts of this and just a little bit for the extra belt that we want for the bus. That's all fine. This is something like what we want to do. Can we do the same thing for copper though? Whoops. After a bit of research, we can. So let's work towards that. Do we have trains ready both for iron and copper? Yes, we do. So we can just start designing some train stations and a full not iron depot, a full resource depot. So I think I like the idea of actually building it out here and then building the stuff in. That means we don't have to cut all of our production, and we can use basically as much space as we want to. And at some point we can then clean up our current production and replace it, I guess. Good. So I think we shall be designing this stuff from the end, because we don't know how much space we need. And I know I need iron to go in here. Of course we could just take a belt from up here and run it down. More decisions. If we did that, we can't ever repurpose this though, not at the same... on this line at least. We would have to push that down to actually get it below the bus. Unless we just remove the bus at some point. And with Bob's faster robots, that's totally possible, but I like having a bus, I guess, as part of the production. I just don't want to spend too much time on this, so let's just make a decision. How about we just keep everything in line with this for now, have all of our resources from here on down. Yeah. Give me a bit more belt, please. You can take those. So, what else do we want to smelt? A lot of something like steel, maybe? Or lead? I might also be overthinking how many belts we need coming in with resources. If we want 4 belts of iron and 4 belts of copper, then everything else might just be 1 belt. Possibly, I'm not sure. I want to be able to expand at least, so I want a good amount of space for it. But let's start by deciding the iron part though. So imagine 4 belts of iron here. Only 1 belt is coming to the end though. Let's... Oh, we put this in the wrong place. And I guess we can pin this and keep this going. Okay, so iron ore goes into ore processors to make processed iron. Do we need processed iron for anything but iron pellets? Let's find out, shall we? We can make it directly into iron ingots. That's a less advanced recipe, so we don't really want that. So yes, make that into iron pellets. Only. So we can do that pretty close to each other and in an integrated setup, meaning that we don't need belts in between for sort of a intermediate ore bus, or whatever we call the intermediates. Unless we need the iron ingots early on in some of our processes mixed in with other stuff. I mean, we need iron ingots for steel processing, right? Or steel smelting. It's not just the iron ore. We make silicon ingots, we make iron ingots. And then we make steel ingots. Mix them with silicon ingots to get more steel, apparently. Okay. So yeah, this is the thing. We will need all of our ingots at least on sort of an intermediary bus, so we can mix and do stuff with it as we want to. And that might be a lot of belts, because our 4 belts of iron ore becomes 8 belts of ingots. And yes, we could just put one of them on a belt and be able to mix that with the others, but I don't know how much stuff we want to be mixing. And for simplicity, it would be easier to just do everything in the same way. So many decisions. What's next? Where is steel in all of this? Probably behind iron, right? Invar, steel. Okay, we can't do the next steel yet. Because apparently we require tungsten and a lot of strand casting stuff. It's so weird that when the science that gives you the machines doesn't give you the recipes, you unlock those through other science. That is a bit confusing for me, at least. Makes it harder to know where to find stuff. So all of these thoughts about what we want on belts is really why I wanted to make a plan for all of the resources. But let's be honest, a plan for all resources is just... well, then we might just play the game, right? That's gonna take forever, and I'm gonna miss so much stuff anyway. We could take some of the basics though. So if we to this, add the copper. Wait, what? Oh yeah, ingots, we get those from processed. I don't want to try and get up to this before we do this. Then we can just wait forever, I guess. Let's just get this up and running first of all. Of course, we could also be doing this in a separate location. Only handle one sort of resources at each point. But then we also need to be exporting some of the ingots to mix with other ingots in other places. Maybe we don't need to mix our ingots unless we really have to, for steel, for example. I've been stalling so much in this episode. Do I want to make everything at outposts instead of here? I think I want to be able, want to start trying here, and then if we at some point just get very annoyed with it, we can start outsourcing it. Even though I'm then going to use that we started here as an excuse to not outsource it for a while, I guess. But oh well. Steel, I guess, should be first, or solder, or nickel. Can we get this recipe? Yes, we can. In a strand casting machine. Of course, again, that is just a lot more dense. And I guess it would also give us a bit of a productivity bonus. I guess there's no reason not just to research all of these. So let's wait with the solder for now. Maybe we should just get these two going. Let's do it. Sure. Are we producing these? Let's start there. We could also start by actually just smelting a little bit of aluminium in a bootstrap setup. Use that to get faster robots. We could also do all of our smelting in a robot setup. But I don't want to do that. Let's stick to this plan for now. So ore processors. Here we go. Apparently we need 30 for the 4 belts, but let's just start with 1 belt, I guess. Handle 1 belt of input, then we have to handle several belts of output, I guess. Actually, only half a belt of this stuff. Almost only half a belt. So that makes sense. We also should bring some pellet presses. Blast furnaces, of course, and induction furnaces. Okay, I think that's fine to get us started. What does it take to get a new armor? Just wondering. I want to be faster. We can research it for sure. Can't see. Oh, yeah, okay. Blue circuits. We need gold for that. We can make gold out of slag slurry, I guess. I guess it's possible for us to be making this if we really wanted to. It would help quite a lot just to be able to run faster. We could also try getting more advanced solar panels and legs. Silver. Great. Again, that is something we can just get out of slag slurry if we want to. Let's save that for some other time, I guess. It's just another distraction, really. And then we shall start up here. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for in this episode. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.